Alright, so far we have learned how to read the data set, how to handle missing column names, what to do if there are text or information present at the top of the file, and how we can only read in a certain number of rows from the data file. Right, so now when we read in the data, if you had carefully observed, reader actually shows the column names and the column data type, right? It indicates the column data type. Now how does this work, right? Let us explore this a bit, column data types, right? So I'm going to read in the HSB2 file again, okay, and here you can see the column names and followed by the column type, right? It has integer, double, logical, right? Here you can see the column name again, and here below you can see the data type. This integer, this is integer, this also integer, this also being treated as integer. Here this is being treated as double because there are decimal values, and here it is being treated as logical because it has, this column has only two values, true or false. So reader may not be able to determine the data type of the column properly. Now in such cases we can specify the data type for each of these columns, right? So we'll see how we can specify the data types. Now before that, I want you to take a look at this function, right? Basically it says spec underscore CSV. Now what this does is, it is not going to, let me clear the screen here, it is actually not going to read the data set for you, right? It will just show you the data types for each of these columns as determined by reader, right? So before you read the data, you can actually run this function spec underscore CSV and then see if reader is able to properly determine the data types for each of the columns being read in. If it is able to determine the data types properly, then you can just go ahead and read the file. But if it is not able to, then you need to specify the data type for each of these columns, right?